my dear students. I hope you enjoyed your last video, which was the first video for probability. So if you have any doubts, if you have any comments, or you want me to add something in the videos, please do write in the comment section. So here we are going to start the second lecture, which is here I'll be discussing your sample space and events. So again we are continuing with our definition thing. We are just defining some terms, and then we will use them to actually measure the uncertainty in an experiment which is having random outcomes, right? So here we will be looking at what do we mean by sample space and what do we mean by events, right? Okay, so you see, yesterday we have seen okay, in the last video we have seen that what is an experiment, and experiment is a random process. And the first experiment, our first experiment was tossing a coin, right? And then you saw that what are the possible outcomes. The possible outcomes were either heads up or tails up, right? If you put all the outcomes in a set, put all the outcomes of an experiment in a set, right? So you will get head, tail. So this particular set where you put all the elements, all the outcomes of the experiment, you call it as sample space. This set is called a sample space. So if you are not familiar with what is a set, you can just say collect all the outcomes. That collection is called a sample space. Okay, so if you are not familiar with set, then you can just think of it as collection of all the outcomes, of an experiment is called a sample space, right? So we denote it with S, and we also denote n of S as number of elements in your sample space, number of elements in the sample space. Fine. So you see, here for this particular first experiment, which was tossing a coin, so our S is this and n of S is, in this particular experiment, n of S is 2, because there are 2 elements in the collection of all the outcomes, right? Let us move on to the next experiment. So your next experiment was rolling a die, right? And we saw what were the outcomes. When you roll a die, you can either get 1 dot, 2 dots, 3, 4, 5 or 6, and you put all these outcomes in a set. So basically you make a collection of the outcomes. So all the possible outcomes in one set, you call it as your sample space. So this is your sample space here. And what are the number of elements in the sample space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 elements in the sample space, right? Fine. Now here you note one thing, that when your sample space contains real numbers, for example here we had h and t, they are not numbers, but when your sample space is numbers, there are other ways to write this same sample space. You can write this set as all n which are integers. This is set of integers, and 1 less than equal to n less than is equal to 6, because sometimes this set of all the outcomes, that is sample space, is very big and listing all the elements is difficult. So in that case you can use something like this. This is mathematical notations you can use to represent your sample space, but this you can do only when you have, most of the times when you have numbers, right? Okay, so let us move on to the next experiment. The third experiment was rolling two dice, right? Here I told you, when you roll 2 dice and you just note the outcome, so you can have 1, 2 or up to 6 any number of dots on the first dice, and 1, 2 up to 6 any number of dots on the second dice. So there are total of 36 outcomes. Total of 36 outcomes. Okay, so you can list them all. For example, you can write the first outcome was 1 on the first dice, 1 on the second dice. Then you can have 1 on the first dice, 2 on the second dice. Then you can have 1 on the first dice, 3 on the second dice. Then you can have 1 on the first dice, 4 on the second dice. And then you can have 1 on the first dice, 5 on the second dice. Then you can have 1 on the first dice, 6 on the second dice, right? And similarly, these are the 6. Then you can have next 6 where your first dice is 2, fixed 2 dots, 2 on the first dice, 1 on the second dice, 2 on the first dice, 2 on the second dice, 2 on the first dice, 3 on the second dice, 2 on the first dice, 4 on the second dice, okay, 2 on the first dice, 5 on the second dice, 2 on the first dice, 6 on the second dice, and so on, right? So you can list all the 36 elements. So this this is your sample space. This is your sample space S here, and your number of elements in the sample space is 36. So can you think of a better way to write this? Yeah, you can just write it like this. S is, as long as you are clear what you are saying, so maybe I am just, this may not be the perfect way, but I dots, I am writing here I dots, comma J dots, right, where I is varying between 1 and 6 and J is varying between 1 and 6. So I can write like this. This is a set of all the possible outcomes. So this is my sample space. Is that okay? Now you see, I have also told you that your experiment may be like this: rolling 2 dice and then counting the total number of dots. The total number of dots. So in this scenario, you see, if you're rolling rolling 2 dice, you have first dice, second dice, you roll them, and then whatever is on these dice, you just count the number of dots. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. 4 number of dots. So here you see what will be your outcomes in this experiment. So you have any number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the first dice, and similarly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what will be your minimum sum? That will be 2. So minimum sum is 2. And what is your maximum sum? Maximum sum is 12. So what are the possible outcomes? Either you will get 2 total dots, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12. So this is your sample space consisting of 11 elements, right? So this is your sample space. N of S is 11, and you can write it in a shorter way like n belongs to Z, which is set of integers where 2 less than is equal to n less than is equal to 12. So this way also you can write your sample space, right? Now let us move on to the fourth experiment which we had discussed in the last video. Experiment 4 was that two teams A and B are playing. Two teams A and B are playing, and our outcome is your final scoreboard. So suppose this is the points for A team and these are the points for B team, and we have seen that what are the possible outcomes. So outcomes are 0 0. Possible outcomes can be 0 0, 1 0, 2 0, 3 0, 4 0, and so on. Here it was 0 1, 0 2, 0 3. There is no upper limit on the number of points. Okay, so although there may be like we know that in real life we cannot expect that there are maybe 1,000 points, or maybe we have points in lakhs, but still we cannot put a limit, right, as such. So here we assume that these are all the possible outcomes. So this is your sample space, right? Here the sample space is obviously infinite space, so you can write it in a shorter way like this. I can write like this, that my outcome is I comma j, where I is greater than equal to 0, j is greater than equal to 0, and ij both are integers, right? So this is my sample space, and number of elements in sample space, it is infinite. It is infinite. The set is infinite, so I cannot uh, tell you that how many number of elements are present. So infinite means we cannot count them, right? So sometimes, yeah, obviously we can count them. In this case they are countable, but they are infinite, right? Okay, so now let us move on to the next thing which I was telling. So this is sample space. Sample space is nothing but all the outcomes of an experiment, you put it in a set. That is your sample space. Now let us move on to event. What is an event? Right. Okay, for this, suppose you are, I will again start with my first experiment. My first experiment was tossing a coin, right? So this was my experiment. So outcomes were head and tail, and my sample space was this head and tail, right? Now suppose this you look at this experiment in another way. Here you are, suppose your name is Tom, you are with a hat, and here is your friend Jerry without a hat, right? And you are having a bet. You are having a bet that you will toss a coin. If heads shows up, head is up, then you win, and if tail is up, Jerry will win, right? Then obviously it means that you are interested in head, right? So this H, the set which contains only head, this is the set in which you are interested. You want this outcome. And similarly, Jerry is interested in this outcome, right? So you are interested in a part of the sample space. So this is your total sample space. You are interested in a part of sample space. It means that you are interested in some of the outcomes. So if you collect some of the outcomes, that becomes an event. Okay, so some or all the outcomes of an experiment, if you collect some or all outcomes of an experiment, we call it an event, right? For example, if you look at here, head tail, in this experiment, this is your sample space. So what are the possible subsets? You can have a set containing nothing, so we call it as empty set, or you can have a set containing only H, or a set containing only T, or a set containing both H and T. So all these are events. These are called events. Events means like, because we want to just measure the probability. For example, yesterday I gave you an example in the last video 1, that suppose you want to visit Disneyland tomorrow, right? And the outcome may be you visit the Disneyland, and the other one was you don't visit the Disneyland because of some bad weather, or you are not well, any of the reasons, right? So which outcome you are interested in? You are interested in that you visit the Disneyland. So for you that outcome is your event, right? So event is basically all those outcomes in which a particular fellow is interested in, right? It will be more clear to you maybe in the next examples. So let us look at the second example, where we had rolling a die, right? When you roll a die, so what were your outcomes? Outcomes were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, and your sample space becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now suppose Tom wins when there is an odd number. He wins when there is an odd number. There is an odd number on the die. and this Jerry wins when there is even number on the die, right? So it means that you are interested in odd number 1, 3 or 5, and Jerry is interested in even numbers 2, 4, 6. So this is an event and this is an event. So there are so many events possible, right? So event you write as E, and number of elements in the event you write as NE. Here N is 3, here N is 3, right? So there are so many events for this particular sample space here. So you can have an event containing only one. There is a fellow who is interested only one. He will win if 1 comes. There is a fellow, he will win if 1, 2, 3 comes, right? So this is an event, this is an event. So there are so many events. So actually if there are n number of elements in the set, for example here you have 6 elements in set S, so there are 2 raised to power 6 number of events possible, right? So there are 2 raised to power 6 total events. You can put all the combinations and permutations, right? So you'll get 2 raised to power 6 events. Fine. Now let us move to the next experiment 3. Suppose I'm saying that experiment is rolling 2 dice and then counting the total number of dots. Then counting the total number of dots. Right. And suppose, and we have already seen that the possible outcome is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Sorry, not 2, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these are the possible outcomes, right? Now suppose somebody is interested in that whenever 8 comes, he will win. When there are total number of elements on the total number of dots on the 2 dice, there are 8. Suppose Tom wins. So corresponding to 8, you see what are the possibilities. Corresponding to 8, the following are the possibilities: 2 on the first dice, 6 on the second dice, or 6 on the first dice, 2 on the second dice. These are the 2 possibilities. And what else? We can have 3 on the first dice, 5 on the second dice, or you can have 5 on the first dice, 3 on the second dice, or you can have 4 on each dice. So these are the possibilities which leads to total number of dots 8. So this is the event in which you are interested, right? So this is the event and your n of E here is 5. Okay, so here I will not take this as my sample space. So your sample space, these are the possible sum of the like possible total number of the dots, but your sample space here will be that 36 elements which I have already drawn before like when we were discussing about sample space and in the last video also, right? So I hope it is clear to you that what is a sample space and what are events, right? So events are a part of the sample space in which you are actually interested in. So we will now like to see how much is the possibility that your event is occurring when you perform that particular experiment. That we will be continuing in the next video. Okay, so next video we'll be continuing that how actually we will be measuring the uncertainties. Till now we just had a basic terminology thing that we just defined some 4 or 5 things which are required to actually give the definition of measurement of uncertainty, that we are going to do in the next video. So please go to the next video if you want to learn probability in detail. Thank you for watching, and please share this video and subscribe to this channel. And also if you have any doubts, please write in the comment box. I will try to answer as far as possible. Happy learning.